Sloth is fundamentally a form of treachery to the Lord Jesus. Sloth is ultimately a form of treachery to the Lord Jesus. For ye are bought with a price, therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. 1 Corinthians 6:20. In the context there, he's particularly warning against sexual sin, right? Which is a kind of fruitlessness, a form of acedia. He says in that same passage in 1 Corinthians 6 that every sin that's committed, other kind of sin is committed outside the body, but whoever commits sin is committing sin against his own body. It's suicidal. Sexual sin is. And it's ultimately fruitless. God's guidelines for sexual purity are about fruitfulness. Be faithful to your wife. Be faithful to your husband. Why? So that your labors will be blessed. But this applies across the board. You've been purchased. You're bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. You belong to Christ. Your labor then belongs to Christ. Your work belongs to Christ. Your energy belongs to Him. So when you're exhausted at the end of a long day, remember the lesson of the unprofitable servant. Jesus said, so likewise, ye, when ye shall have done all these things which are commanded to you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do. Luke 17:10. Christ bought us with his precious blood, a price we can never repay. Christ purchased us with his blood, saved us from hell and judgment and destruction and shame and eternal sorrow. He paid that price with his own precious blood, rescued us, saved us. And the whole point of salvation, the whole point of us being committed to Christ is us saying, we know we owe a debt we can never repay. We've been forgiven so much. You gave your only son for us. And what do we want to do? We want to offer our bodies now as living sacrifices. We want to offer our lives back to God, and we know that it can't ever pay back. It can never pay it back. And so what are we doing? Day in and day out, we're serving Christ. We're serving him. Why? Because we owe him everything. We owe him everything, and we can't possibly give everything, so we give what we have. I'm just doing the dishes. Doing the laundry again for you, Jesus. Going to work again because everything I have belongs to you. Writing this computer code, painting this picture, writing this article, playing this music, teaching this lesson for Jesus. Because he bought me, and he saved me, and he's restored to me the dignity of good work. It's for Jesus. So work as unto Christ. You're working for Christ. Not with eye service as men pleasers, but as the servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart, with good will, doing service as to the Lord, not to men, knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord, whether he be bond or free. Ephesians 6. Work like that. You're working for the King. Right? For the King. Put it on stickers. Put it on a Post-it note. Put it on a reminder, a little alert, at that afternoon lag when you're starting to feel the doldrums of 2:30. And the alert comes up for the King. Right behind the sink. Right, there you are, doing the dishes for the King. Right? In your work truck, there on the dashboard for the King. I work for the King. I'm a servant of the King. This is for my Lord. This is for my King. This is for my Master. Not for man. Not to please men. Not for their praise. For the King. I work for the King. I serve the King. I was bought with a price. He sent his only Son for me. I live for him. It's for the King.